Hello, my name is Ainsley Morrison, and in this video presentation, I will be answering two main questions. The first of which asks how the submitted elements of the portfolio meet the module learning outcomes. And the second part, which is part B, asks me to articulate the relevance of the experience gained within the module, the relevance that it has to my future career aspirations, and that I should identify any future development needs. First off, the report that I just completed was basically me doing a case report on a Caribbean bank that has recently received a banking license in the UK. I had to look at problems that the company faced and to find solutions. Now, in answering the first part of the question, how the submitted elements of the portfolio met my module learning outcome. Now, my module learning outcomes, just to give you an idea of what it's all about. The first, there are basically 6 items on that report. And it first of all asks that after completing it, I should be able to demonstrate the different approaches to business or management issues in the context of their chosen area to be investigated, with the use of appropriate evidence-based information and theory. Excuse me. And that was clearly evident based on the type of project that I just did. The business had problems. It had to find customers basically for its new digital bank that it opened in the UK. And it was necessary for the company to identify its target market, and not only that, but to market the company to that target market. Now, it is important for the company to do research on that target market, and based on the module and the information contained in the module, I was taught really how to do that effectively. The second part of the learning outcome says that I should be able to discuss and critically evaluate the different perspectives of related evidence-based and theoretical literature, including appropriate referencing from diverse sources. Again, this was necessary. I had to look at all the different aspects of, for example, the target market. The target market was the Afro-Caribbean community, and not only do I have to look at the size of the market, I have to find out where it's located. I have to also find out about the average age of that target market. I had to look at the cultural aspects that pertain to that market, and I was able to look at various angles in relation to that particular target market and bring that out in my report as background information for the company to actually look at in an effort to ensure that the target market that they're trying to quote unquote convince to take up their savings product or their loans product is the right target market. The third learning outcome says that I should be able to demonstrate acumen in the design, planning, selection, and collection of evidence in investigating the chosen issue using primary and or secondary data as deemed appropriate. And definitely this aspect of my learning outcome was covered. I had to provide primary and secondary data. My primary data was had from a banking representative from the bank that was the case that I was working on. I also had to do a questionnaire, and and interviews with 10 semi-structured, interview with 10 of those participants. I was able to use thematic analysis to go through the responses of the participants. I, you know, use the thematic analysis as it was suggested based on how it should be used, and I was able to deduce from the transcript of the participants the necessary information that was used as, you know, um, the source of my evidence to provide suggested solutions to the company's problems. And that was, in my opinion, effectively done. Obviously, that will be confirmed with the grade that I get. The fourth learning outcome talks about my ability to communicate effectively, including my collection of evidence in the form of reports using appropriate formats in a well structured report. And again, I had to present graphs, I had to present tables, I had to present pie charts, I had to present graphical information. And in my opinion, these were presented appropriately, um, in the right structure, the right setting. And I think personally that the report was well structured and that particular learning outcome also was definitely achieved. The fifth learning outcome talks about utilizing reflective practice techniques to critique my performance and identify improvements. Um, Based on my reflective report, I did highlight areas that I handled well and areas that I may have not handled so well. Um, to be honest, I may not have utilized the structure that may have been suggested in a reflective practice technique. So that could be one of the improvements that I would need. I need to be able to use the reflective techniques not only to, to reflect on the project that I have that I just did, but in terms of my personal life, my actions, my work day, my family, you know, aspect. I think utilizing this reflective method to go back through the whether reports or assignments or task or whatever else there is that I've done. Um, I think I need to improve that part of it. But I was able to critique myself. Um, I was struggling at the outset of it, but I was able to get a grips of the project with consultation from my supervisor, Dr. Hills, and I really thank him for that. Hopefully, I have done a good job. I know I may have missed one or two points, but overall, I think I did a good report. And the final learning outcome is that I should be able to demonstrate the development of independent and self-managed learning. And I think that um, is one of the points learning outcome that I excelled in. I did have meetings with my supervisor. I probably could have had more, but the time was very limited. I had work full time, and other personal responsibilities that sort of, prevented that from happening. But all in all, I think I did a good job. Um, Time was against me, but I was able to manage myself effectively to complete the report, I feel, on time. Um, I am really hoping that my grade will reflect the hard work that I put in. And all in all, I expect to have a good result. I thank you for your time, and I say farewell. Thank you. Bye bye.